sad edition.
Why is it?
Because we watched a sad-ass movie.
So we're with Chelsea at the movies at home still, but we rented. Kind of a big move for us. I'm not really on board of the whole...
I wasn't on board, but because I was so proud of you for
me
spending $6 to rent a movie.
$6?
I was like, fine, Rachel, rent it. Like, this is out of character for you.
Unheard of.
Yeah.
A Hidden Life, written and directed by Terrence Malick. He wrote, you might remember the film Tree of Life. Right, they both have life in the title. Mm-hmm. I really like Tree of Life that was starring Brad Pitt and Sean Penn, I think. But this movie is set in Austria, and it's about a family. They're farmers, so they live in a village in Austria, and he is drafted, I guess, for World War II on the
conscripted
Nazi side. And when they do that, they have to pledge an oath of loyalty to Hitler. He could not do that and did not do that, and obviously that was really hard on him, right? It wasn't an easy thing to say, no, I'm not going to do that. And so the movie is about that. Kelsey, go wait or skip.
So this movie, if you saw the trailer, what a beautiful trailer there is for this movie that really pulls you in, shows you exactly how the movie turned out to be. And I think if I were you, I would just watch the trailer because this movie is about an hour too long, I think. This movie's 3 hours long.
3 hours.
And I feel like while it's beautifully shot, while it's a very artful piece of cinema, I feel like some of the choices that the filmmaker makes is for his own art preference over storyline and over developing those ideas. And so for me, this movie was just a little bit too long for what it was because you knew kind of where it was going and the whole time it just stayed there.
So go wait or skip.
Oh, wait. Wait! Hit you with the pause.
Okay, stop. I'm going to say go. I fell in love with this movie. From the moment it started, I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. It was so beautiful. Austria. I just beautiful. Couldn't. It was so beautiful. Just
Rachel,
the images.
Was it beautiful?
Yes. Amazon Prime has really great picture quality on their stuff too. I just couldn't take my eyes. I'm a very visual person. This was a very visual movie. I fell in love with it. The story was deeply moving. It's moving to me now. So deeply moving and thought-provoking. It just was, I didn't really notice that it was 3 hours.
Oh, I did. When you paused it and it wasn't even halfway over, I was like, let's get to the spoilers though.
Yes, okay, spoilers.
Okay, so this movie is the same as Crocodile Dundee, which was also filmed in Austria.
Why are you saying this? It's not even a joke that makes sense.
Yeah, because it's Australia.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. Why won't you just let me have my jokes?
Just because they start with the same...
Because people get them confused. It's also...
I don't know anybody that gets Austria.
Did you know that in Crocodile Dundee originally that Arnold Schwarzenegger was planned to be? Because he's from Australia.
Okay.
Okay, listen. Spoilers. Here's a spoiler. It's long. I already told you that. It is super long.
It's not subtitled.
Which is another choice that the filmmaker makes, I think, because it wants to give you this idea of oh, it doesn't matter what they're saying because it's hate and it's wrong and it's bad. When they're talking in German, within the...
Oh, I didn't get that. I got more that the filmmaker was putting forth, I want you to know the feeling and not get, tied up in all the language.
I just think that it used some of the ideas in it were meant to show, it was bad here at this Nazi prison, which is true, but a lot of prisons are bad. You know what I mean? It's not a good place.
Well, here's an example of something that I saw. There was one scene where it took the guy who was supporting Franz, who was the guy that refused to take the oath. He had very few supporters, very few people that were supporting him. This one guy at I guess a mill of some sort, and the score plays up, and he's like angry, but it just shows his face, and he's talking, but you can't hear him, you just see it.
Yeah.
So he showing a lot of like anger, and I saw like some hate, like he was.
Yeah.
Then there's another scene when he's going through his trial, and it shows the Nazi general, I guess, in a room by himself after he's questioned him and sends him out, and he goes and he sits. He walks by the chair, and then he sits in the same chair that Franz sat in, and he sits just like him, like he takes his hands and lays them on his legs just like he sat because he had him in handcuffs. Like he's literally putting himself in the position of his prisoner and trying to understand. And to me, that was really fascinating because it wasn't villainizing the Nazi general. It was, I don't know,
this movie's really great. Like, it's hard for me with Go Wait or Skip because I don't feel like I can tell somebody, you have to be willing to see a certain kind of movie.
This isn't the movie for everybody.
This is not like...
This is
not the Avengers Endgame.
No, it's not like, there's pop music that, like, everybody loves. This isn't a pop movie. This isn't a movie that's, like, for everybody. But is it good? Like, oh my gosh, it is good.
Yeah, I was really glad to see it, and I was really happy to see it when the movie came out. I did, once the movie began, I was a little concerned about how long it was. Because it was long. It was really long. And I didn't see why it had to be so long, I guess.
Yeah, so for Kelsey, and I get that. Again, I say I'm a very, very visual person. So I was just lost in the whole movie. I was very moved by it. What this man did. And I feel like I have experienced some of what he experienced in my own life. Where I made a choice, and I was like, this is the right choice. But I had so many people around me that were like, you shouldn't be saying that. You shouldn't do this. You should, like, they all thought they knew better, but I had to make the choice that was right for me. And we talked about that last night after the movie. Like, the idea, I think it's less about the what. Like, was it right or wrong? What did he make a choice about? And it's more about the why. He had to make this choice because he felt it like in his soul that he couldn't make this oath. He couldn't say this and be like, oh, these are just words. He couldn't do this. And, giving somebody like that the dignity and respect to make their own choices. And I thought it was an interesting thought experiment to be like, well, do I do that? It's easy to do that for somebody who's anti-Hitler. Do I do that with other things? Somebody that supports something or disagrees with something that's opposite of me. Do I give them the respect to make their own choice because for them, they need to live in integrity and that's what's important.
Yeah, I think that this movie is very artfully done. I think the filmmaker is a great filmmaker. I think the filmmaker probably is at a point in his life where he can just do whatever he wants, and that's why he turns in a 3-hour movie like this.
Come on, you just watched The Irishman, and you did not talk about the length of that movie.
Right, but The Irishman didn't, at the beginning of The Irishman, I wasn't like, oh, well, I kind of know what's going to happen in this movie, and then it just played out over 3 hours. This movie is like, oh, I kind of see where this is going, and then, yep, that's why it played out.
I thought the movie was more about the emotion and the pain, the doing something because you believe that it's right between you and your higher power, even though nobody's supporting you. His wife wasn't, his mother wasn't, his entire village wasn't, and people, his family had to endure pain because of his choice, but yet he can, he did it. I thought it was really, really just interesting and necessary to show all the feeling involved with that. Yeah. This movie is similar. If you haven't seen the movie Silence, which is a Martin Scorsese film, it's about a similar choice.
Is that 3 hours?
Probably. I don't know. I love the movie Silence as well, so I don't remember how long it was. I think man, if you had the opportunity to watch both those movies, you haven't seen these, I think it'd be really excellent.
Yeah, and if you want to make it into a third thing, just maybe add on Crocodile Dundee.
Okay.
This is a knife. Hello, Austria I am.
Don't even.
Hey guys, thanks for watching our show. I'm Kelsey, that's Rachel. This is our show about movies.